Good evening. Before I start, I just want to say to all the family members of the people that have died in the crash, the plane crash in DC, for both the commercial aircraft and the military aircraft. My heart goes out to you. My thoughts and prayers are with the families and loved ones of all the people that have passed during this tragedy. Let's take a moment to think of all the people that have perished.
Death is an inevitable part of life, a certainty that shadows every moment of our existence. Yet, no matter how prepared we think we are to face it, the loss of a loved one always feels like a profound shock to the system. When death comes suddenly and violently, in ways that leave no room for farewells or final moments of closure, it casts a long, dark shadow over those left behind. The traumatic nature of such deaths, whether through burning, drowning, a car crash, or murder, intensifies the grief, making it a unique and harrowing experience. The suddenness of a traumatic death is often the most jarring aspect. One moment, life is moving along its usual course, and the next, it is irrevocably altered. There is no warning, no gradual decline to prepare the heart and mind. The abruptness leaves a gaping wound in the fabric of daily life, a void that was previously filled by the presence of the loved one. This sudden absence is not just an emotional loss, but a disruption of the very structure of existence. Plans are left unfinished, conversations are left hanging, and dreams shared are abruptly shattered. The violent nature of such deaths adds another layer of complexity to the grieving process. There's a certain brutality in the thought of a loved one suffering in their final moments. The mind becomes haunted by images of their pain, by questions of what if and why. These deaths often leave behind a trail of unanswered questions and unresolved emotions. The survivors are left grappling with the senselessness of it all, trying to find meaning in a world that suddenly feels chaotic and unjust. For those left behind, the journey through grief is fraught with challenges. The initial shock can give way to a deep, consuming sorrow that feels impossible to escape. There is a sense of helplessness, a feeling that the world has spun out of control. Anger often follows, directed at the circumstances, at fate, or even at oneself for perceived failures to prevent the tragedy. This emotional turmoil can be overwhelming, leaving the bereaved feeling isolated and adrift. The inability to say goodbye is a particularly cruel aspect of sudden traumatic deaths. There is no opportunity to express love one last time, to hold a hand, to whisper words of comfort. The finality of death is compounded by the lack of closure, leaving the bereaved with a lingering sense of incompleteness. This can lead to a fixation on the last moments shared, replaying them over and over in search of signs or meanings that might offer solace. Despite the depth of pain and despair, there are ways to cope and heal, though the path is neither easy nor straightforward. Grief is a deeply personal journey, and what works for one person may not work for another. However, there are common threads that can help guide the healing process. First and foremost, it is important to allow oneself to grieve. Society often pressures individuals to move on quickly, to put on a brave face and return to normalcy. But grief is not a linear process, nor is it something that can be rushed. It is essential to acknowledge the pain, to give oneself permission to feel the full spectrum of emotions. This may involve crying, talking about the deceased, or even expressing anger. It is through this acknowledgement that healing can begin. Seeking support from others can also be invaluable. Grief can feel isolating, but it is important to remember that one is not alone. Friends, family, and support groups can offer a sense of community and understanding. Sharing memories, talking about the loved one, and expressing feelings can help alleviate the burden of grief. Professional counseling or therapy can also provide a safe space to explore emotions and work through the trauma. Finding ways to honor the deceased can be a powerful step in the healing process. This might involve creating a memorial, planting a tree, or starting a scholarship in their name. These acts of remembrance can provide a sense of connection to the loved one and offer a way to keep their memory alive. Engaging in rituals or traditions that were meaningful to the deceased can also provide comfort and a sense of continuity. It is important to take care of oneself during this difficult time. Grief can take a physical toll, manifesting in fatigue, changes in appetite, and difficulty sleeping. Prioritizing self-care by maintaining a healthy routine, eating well, and getting enough rest can help manage these symptoms. Engaging in activities that bring joy or relaxation, such as walking in nature, listening to music, or practicing meditation, can also provide moments of respite. As time passes, the acute pain of grief may begin to soften, though it never truly disappears. The goal is not to forget the loved one or to erase the pain, but to find a way to integrate the loss into one's life. This might involve redefining one's identity and purpose in a world that feels irrevocably changed. It is a process of learning to live with the absence, to carry the memory of the loved one forward in a way that honors their life. Ultimately, the journey through grief is a testament to the love shared with the deceased. The depth of sorrow mirrors the depth of love, and in that love lies the strength to endure. Though the road is long and fraught with challenges, it is possible to find a way through the darkness, to emerge into a place where memories bring comfort rather than pain. In time, the heart can find a way to hold both the joy of the past and the sorrow of the present, allowing for healing and hope.
Just yesterday, laughed like the world would never change. Now silence fills the empty space, and nothing feels the same. Your picture's on the mantle still. Your scent still lingers in the air, but no one tells you how it feels to reach and you're not there. I didn't get to say goodbye, didn't get to hold your hand. Now I'm left with shattered time, trying hard to understand.